and take a seat. Conversations that can't be beat. Music and movies to name a few. Sports and drinks and tiramisu. This is a podcast for everyone. Time to chat and have some fun. Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk.
That'll hit the algorithm. You ever hype train right away?
Yeah, that'd be
Pumps up
crazy.
the algorithm.
Welcome in, guys. Happy Tuesday for us. Happy whatever day it might be for you out there in Spotify, YouTube land, wherever it might be. This is our sixth episode? Yeah, sixth episode of Shawk Talk, guys. And we've got a doozy of a guest on this evening, everybody. One of my probably longest content creator friends that I've known, guys. Long time. Now that I think about it, John, I think you might be the longest.
Thank
it's
you for not saying oldest.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly. It probably comes down to you and Sweens, to be honest with you. I'd have to do the math check on that. It's pretty close though. But Jahnu is our guest in the house tonight, guys, coming from the Shore House. You'll hear us talk about that a little bit. That is his community over there, the Shore House. Absolutely awesome community, awesome vibe over there. Just good people, good dude in general, and he's gonna have some great stuff to discuss with us tonight, even if he might be a bit of a Philly fan potentially. Well, luckily we're not talking about anything that involves Philly too much tonight, so I think we can get along okay. Jahnu, welcome in, sir. Happy Tuesday. Let the people know a little bit about you, sir. Like, what do you do? What's something you love about content creation, and why do you do what you do, man?
No, thank you, my friend. Thank you, Shaka. And I appreciate being here. I love the podcast format. I love being able to sit around and chat, with friends about this kind of stuff. And myself, I am a 52, yes, that's a flex, 52-year-old hairstylist barber from New Jersey.
Nice.
I grew up in Jersey all my life, and I've been cutting hair for just about 30 years now.
Oh, man. It's crazy.
I started, dabbled a little bit here and there. I think about like when I was a teenager and making skateboard videos with those VHS, camcorders that was as big as your shoulder.
Yeah.
Formally entered content creation over COVID in 2020. And I've been doing YouTube and Twitch ever since. I got a wonderful community, and they all came out. There's SBR. I appreciate you, bud. Yeah, I just really like vibing. I like meeting people. I like to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited about tonight.
You like to talk. So you're gonna hear a little bit of that Philly Jersey accent in him every now and then, guys. Talk. Water. You're gonna hear a little bit. So,
a lot of water.
Yeah,
a lot of water.
A little water. Yeah. So despite me never having an accent and you guys never hearing an accent come out of my mouth, you're gonna get a little bit of it tonight here from Jahnu. So don't be too shocked, everybody, when you hear accents this evening, or whatever day it might be for you. Well, Jahnu, I'm super stoked to have you on, man. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our very first topic. For anybody that is not familiar with the podcast here, guys, we cover 5 main general topics. That is sports, gaming, music, cinema, and food/drink. And then the details of each one of those 5 categories can vary based on the guest and the specific week. So our first category this evening is
The Spread on Sports.
All right, Jahnu, first and foremost here. So we're in the middle of March Madness, smack dab in the middle. Round one just finished. What I consider the first round. It's technically the first 2 rounds, I think, is the way we would technically say that. But the first weekend of games is what I always like to call it. So that is past us at this point. We're now getting prepared for the next, which is the Sweet 16, I believe. Correct? Yeah, Sweet 16 and Elite 8
we're
is
set
the
up. We
next
got our
2.
16
Yeah,
now.
that's what I was thinking here. So first of all, Jahnu, question for you. Did you fill out a bracket for this tournament?
For this tournament, I did not.
Okay.
I generally do.
Okay.
And it was one of those things where it started before I realized. It snuck up on me this year a little bit.
I hear you. So I'm kind of in the same boat. I did do one this year, but largely just thanks to THZ Horizon, who was a guest previously on episode 4 with us here, guys. He does a big fundraiser, and thanks to him, that kind of helped remind me, because I kept getting emails from the Yahoo account about it. It's like, you need to hurry up and finish up your bracket. Come on. So otherwise, I would have forgotten about it too, to be honest. It would have snuck up on me. But I do try to do it every year. That does not mean I'm an expert on college basketball whatsoever, but I think it's fun at the very minimum. Would you consider yourself
For
an
sure.
expert?
I consider myself a fan. Experts get paid for their opinions, but no, I'll tell you what I miss. I miss the paper, like we used to get it in the newspaper or whatever. But when you had a physical piece of paper that had the bracket on it, and you could write it out and fill it out. Now it's something you do with your phone.
Right.
And I think it does distract a little bit from it. But I've always been a college basketball fan. In the area where I live, we have a great tradition of college basketball.
That is true.
And there's something exciting about the college basketball tournament that makes it special. It's more, it's different from the NBA finals. The way they set things up, it really makes it unique, and it's unique among sports. In other words, you don't get a field of 64 in any other sport that you watch.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
it does make it fun.
Yeah, so I'm the same way. Like, I'm not an expert. I don't get paid for my opinion on it. That's a really good way to put it. I am a fan of the tournament. I am not necessarily a fan of college basketball. What I mean by that is that I don't really watch it during the regular season, so I don't come in as an expert. I'm aware of like what teams are doing well, and that's about it. And that's honestly just because they rank the teams, so it's kind of a no-brainer. But beyond that, it's just fun, you know?
Yeah, I do. I start thinking about it when like you get to the end and the tournaments for who's gonna, they have all the division tournaments and these kind of things. You find out who's coming out of where. Sometimes there's some surprises, but mostly it does stay regional. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like I care about Villanova, right? That's gonna be who I'm gonna claim for my home team. And so I'll watch Villanova.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I'll figure out how they're doing. And then when the tournament comes, then I worry about the wider country and the
Right.
implications there.
Fun fact. So I'm not necessarily a Villanova fan, but the one time only that I won a bracket, I put Villanova in for the win, and they won the championships, and that is how I won the bracket. So, cheers to Villanova.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so our question today relating to sports, obviously March Madness related here, guys. If your bracket is busted, is the tournament worth watching? What are your thoughts on that, Jahnu?
Well, I'm far from a perfectionist. I will say that. And like you said, the one time that you got the tournament right, it was Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And for I'm not going to embarrass you by asking you how long you've been filling them out. But yeah, it's a 1 in a million shot, and I think getting the tournament right, it's more like picking the lottery. You could pick the winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
UConn's winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's easy.
Right.
But to pick all the matchups, and especially the early round matchups, because that seems to be where most of them get busted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like first round, it's out. Second round, and then it's like, all right, now we can enjoy watching it. Because for me, what really makes a tournament interesting are those upset stories.
I agree.
Right? Those Cinderella stories. So now it doesn't go, is my team, right? Whether I picked Arizona or I picked Duke or whoever to win the finals. It's not, is my team going to win the finals, but how long is that Cinderella run going to last?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is it going to get into the Elite Eight? Are they going to get into the Final Four? Is there a chance that an 8 seed could beat a 2 seed in the finals? And in college basketball, there is.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not
Absolutely.
stacked as like the pros. So I think it's more fun after you take that prediction element out of it, and just enjoy the chaos for what it is.
So you raise a really good point with that, because so it's funny how every time we do one of, it feels like it's the sports category where I always have this predetermined idea in my head that I'm going to go with, and then my guest says something and I'm like, oh man, that changes my answer now. Like, you guys are just really good at swaying me. So like my gut instinct with this question was that
Okay.
yes. So, like for me, a casual fan that really doesn't pay attention during the season and is just paying attention for my bracket, once my bracket gets busted, then I'm usually like, nah, I don't care anymore. With one big exception, and you kind of touched on that, and that is the Cinderella story. If there is a Cinderella story team that is making that run, then I'm super interested in the tournament. I'll use the example. Actually, it's a year when I miraculously did really well with my bracket, but the Loyola, Chicago Loyola team, when that team
Okay.
went all the way to, I think it might have been the Final Four, at least Elite Eight, I believe. When that team was making that run, like I was just enthralled. I was totally into that year and that tournament in particular. So I think if there is a Cinderella story team present, I think that definitely drives up those numbers a lot. Do you think that's going to be the case for the broad community though? So we obviously talked like kind of for us individually. Do you think we're going
Right.
to
The nerdy
see
fan.
that? Do you think we're going to see that
So
across the board?
you have like this 80-20 split. So on your
Hmm.
20%, you have your nerdy fan, right?
Yes.
Who's aware of college basketball. They know the history and they know, some of the players. They understand the rivalries and things like that. And they can make a semi-educated opinion of it and then test their knowledge against what happens. But then there's the 80%, your casual fans,
Right.
your ones that this is the only basketball they're going to watch. And to be honest, they're not going to watch the whole game.
That's a good point.
They're going to watch the TikToks, the shorts, the highlights, the moments. And what makes the tournament unique is that people watch for moments.
Yes.
Right. So whether it's the first round upset where some community college from like Gulfside, Florida, beats some established team and everybody goes nuts in it,
Hmm.
or you have that upset, or you have that team that falls. Like a lot of time, like they're saying now, right? What if UConn wins again? What if UConn loses? What
Yeah.
if UConn loses next round? Like that's a huge story.
Yeah, it is.
And I think for uniquely the tournament, it's about watching moments. It's about watching these special things that happen during it. The kids that go crazy, they storm the court, they cut down the nets,
Yeah.
um, as opposed to, say, the NFL or NBA playoffs, where it's this march towards the inevitable.
Right. That's a good point. The the demand in chat, I love it. It's like those nerds,
Nerd.
those basketball nerds. But I agree, man. I think the nerds definitely are going to keep watching. The basketball nerds, to be clear. But I think even the fans, like you said, like they just, I don't know, it's just fun. So our over under for anybody that is new to the podcast and how we do things, we always have kind of a little twisty element to each of these discussion points. So we do an over under, hence why it's called the spread on sports, folks. We have an over under here, Jahnu, to kind of settle this debate here that we've got. The over under is 10.5 million for the next two rounds, so the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. That metric,
Okay.
for anybody that is out there and wondering where is that number coming from. So last year, the first two rounds were 9.5 million, and the second two rounds were 10.5 million. This year, we obviously don't know the second two rounds yet because they haven't happened, but they just recently released the first two rounds. And that metric was a new high, and that was 11 million. So we went with 10.5 million because that's pretty smack dab in the middle of those two things. And it's going to tell us, is the number going to go up or is the number going to go down? And that's going to correlate with our discussion here. So, Jahnu, are you saying that we should see over or under 10.5 million for the next two rounds of viewership?
Right, because there's some factors to consider in.
Okay.
The first thing is it's a very top-heavy tournament this year.
It is.
UConn is going for a three-peat, a four-peat. Like they're turning to Michael Jordan, where it's like it's almost like Tennessee women's college basketball, where Pat Summitt would just win like 14 years in a
Yes.
row.
Well, the
It's turning
women's
into this
UConn
kind of
team, too.
dynasty.
Like the women's
So it
UConn,
is.
same thing, yeah.
It's one of those things. Is that going to turn off fans, or are they just going to find
Mm.
different stories? I think if you see more upsets, you're going to see more interest and more uptick.
I agree.
It's going to be hard because it's a top-heavy scene. My question is, what platform? So if you're watching your college basketball tournament, where are you consuming it the most? Are you watching it on a television? Are you watching it on a PC? Or are you watching it on your phone?
So
Are you watching highlights? Are you watching full games? UConn didn't win it. Didn't win it last year?
I was gonna
Who
say I
won it
didn't think
last
they
year?
won last year.
No?
I can't remember who won last year. Now that I think of it. The
Florida won?
Florida won. Oh, that's right.
Florida's good, and I love Florida. Florida's one of those teams. Like I have, okay, Villanova's my team, but I have like all teams, right? I'll always root for Ohio State. I'll always root for the Spartans. Go
Ohio
Michigan
State. What?
Yes. Yes.
Killing me.
Um,
You're killing me, Jahnu.
and I'll always root for Florida. Go Gators.
Wow. Don't you do it, SVR. You put an OH in chat for anybody that does not understand that. So just to be clear, John, so the viewership metrics are based on television viewership. We'll call it television. So that could be like CBS, TNT, any of those platforms. So it does not include like video after the fact or TikToks or anything like that. So it's not including that stuff. It is just live viewership of the games. 10.5
Because
million.
I do.
Yeah.
From the platform standpoint, from the PLE standpoint, let's
Mhm.
call it, right? Because where are you consuming this media? And it's going to become more and more digital, more and more exclusive as time goes on. But then also a very top heavy where there's not a lot of surprises.
Right.
So I think you will see it go up if something huge happens.
Okay.
We can't just march towards the inevitable. If we do, then people are going to check out because they already know what's going to happen. But if we get some swerve, some like upset, something that's going to just drive everybody crazy, then that could be enough to pump the numbers up to 10.5.
Okay. So I'm hearing a lot of if this then this, if this then this. So what are you committing to, Jahnu? You going with the over or the under?
It's going to take a lot of ifs to get over 10.5. So it's going to take a lot of ifs. So I think I'm going to play it safe and go under.
You're going with the under, really? Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, I'm going with the over. So even though here's my counter argument to what you said. So I think the viewership goes up as you get more Cinderella stories. I agree with that completely. But I also think viewership goes up when you have premier matchups. And because we have big programs still in the tournament, there's going to be a lot of really big, high-ranked matchups. And I think that's going to draw a lot of audience as well. I think that's one of the reasons that we always see these numbers go up. Even though we wouldn't think they would because people's brackets get busted, there's always going to be one or the other. Either you have that Cinderella story that bumps the numbers up, or you get these premier matchups that everyone wants to tune in for. It's one of the reasons, like the final, for instance, the final always has huge numbers. It's because it's usually going to be two super premier teams, you know what I mean, that are playing. So I'm going with the over. You're going with the under. This is going to be interesting.
You think those Huskies and those Dookie Blue Devils are going to all come out in numbers? I often wonder that. Like, if you go to Duke during like the Final Four, like, is the whole campus insane, or is it just yeah, we're doing it again?
I would imagine. So like I said, I don't follow college basketball super heavily, but I am Team Duke. I root for Duke. I am one of them.
Okay.
Rip UNC, by the way, with your Michael Jordan reference, since they lost so early. Sorry, UNC fans.
Tar Heels.
Yeah, but no, I'm Team Duke, and just the atmosphere for some of those big, especially the basketball-only programs like a Duke. I know they obviously play football and other stuff like that too, but they don't care about those sports. They care about basketball. That's their thing. I would say Villanova is kind of a similar situation where like basketball is their thing, and they don't do a whole lot beyond that. Yeah. Like those campuses, they go crazy for this stuff. So I imagine the viewership for that stuff would be massive, massive, massive.
And I think, does it probably draw more from, like, does it help that it's Northeast? Like, does that help?
I imagine it would.
As opposed to, like, say, if it was Kansas versus Illinois, you know what I mean? Or some kind of, like, Midwestern thing.
So that's a good question. I would think that, obviously, the market of the school. So I think there's two levels to that. There's the market of the school. So there's market versus just the general name. Because, like, so for instance, you think about the SEC in Georgia. That's a huge name. Right. It's going to have a huge draw. But Georgia itself is not in a massive market. So
Right, the Wolverine, stuff like that.
yeah, so I think it depends on a combination of the two, both the market as well as the program prestige. I'll use a NCAA football reference there. The prestige of the program, I think, has a big factor to go with that as well. So, good
Spoken
stuff.
like a true Blue Devil.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Good stuff, Jahnu. Let us know in the comments down below, guys. Are you going to keep watching March Madness even if your bracket was busted? And of course, let us know which team you think is going to win it all. I would love to hear that from everybody. Next up, folks, we're going to get into some gaming action here with Jahnu. We've got
Galaxy of Gaming.
We've got a fun topic on this one here, a fun specific topic. For anybody that does not know, the way that this particular category works is we have a statement, and then we have to decide whether that statement is a reasonable or a ridiculous statement. Our statement for today comes from J-Murph. I adapted it a little bit from what J-Murph asked, but it's pretty much J-Murph's statement here. Shout out to J-Murph, who is in chat as well. By the way, I should also mention, guys, if you are interested in being live on the stream, on the recording of this, check out on Twitch over at Shaka08. That's where we do the recording of this live. We've got a very active audience right now that is participating in this and trolling us and or contributing to the conversation while we're recording this. So head over there, check it out, guys. It's a good time. All right, Jahnu, our statement for gaming. Social games are better than single-player games. Reasonable or ridiculous?
Well, let me tell you, I got a hot take on this one,
Oh,
and I
boy.
will fight it to the end. Not only do I think social games better than single player games is reasonable, but I think it's ridiculous to think otherwise. I think the position that single player games are over social games, it's just untenable. And I can tell you why. Because after you beat your single player game and you get all the platinums and you score all your high scores, right? You're done. And I'm still playing.
Whew. Whew, boy. Boy, Jahnu just laying down the gauntlet, guys. He said take a piece and eat on that. Wow, I
think it's ridiculous to think otherwise. And I think I'll tell you what, I think if you go 5-10 years into the future, you're going to be really hard pressed to find a game that doesn't have a social element. I think that the argument will be moot at that point.
That's a very good point. Wow. This is going to come down again. Hot take, but not wrong, says Chamber. Wow. Okay. The chat is getting riled up, guys. Once again, I came in with a preconceived notion, and my guest is going to try to sway me the other way because my gut reaction with this is that single player games are better. And hear me out. Here's why. Okay. You raise a good point with the longevity of a social game versus a single player game. That's a very good point. But what if I almost feel bad saying this. What if you don't have any friends? Like if you don't have any friends or you don't have the capability, let's say it that way. I'll feel a little bit better about it. What if you don't have the capability to be able to socially connect with people to play these games? Then it's kind of a moot point. Like imagine if you will, guys, to use a reference from COVID and the COVID era. Imagine trying to play Among Us
right
by yourself or with your kid's sister, because that's the only person you can find to play a game with you. Like it would not be fun at all. It'd be terrible. Versus a single player game is highly geared to you, the individual. It's got a great story plot usually to it. It's very controlled in terms of the gameplay mechanics of it. It can be very much geared towards you. You can customize it to be exactly what you want it to be as well too, if you want to tweak things. So like I think of like God of War. I'm a big God of War fan. We've talked about that before on the podcast, and I love that I could like change the settings for my control to be exactly what I want it to be. Versus, I don't know that that's always available in every social game. Some of them, yes, but not all of them. I don't know, Jahnu. You put a strong statement on
like
there,
said,
man. Tell me why I'm
game
wrong.
exactly how you like it. You could be the hero of the game, right? You can have, your nice comfy chair and the basement temperature set exactly the way you like it. Put on your headset and play all that crazy music, but you're still doing it by yourself. You're still doing it by yourself. And then what are you going to do? Like, first of all, most of the people I know here, I met playing a game. I didn't know them, and we played a game together, and that's how I met. And I noticed even on like these silly games, like there's little solitaire games that I play on my phone,
Yeah.
like at night before I go to bed. And it'll be like when you get to a level 100, it opens up teams. And I'm like, guilds?
Mm.
I could start a solitaire guild and then maybe get online and maybe get in contact with some of these people. We could have solitaire meetups. Like, this
Ooh.
is a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it is more fun with friends. And I think the replayability is huge. When you look at a game like Fall Guys, when you look at a game like DBD, right? This is a game, you play a game of DBD, you're playing for what, 7 to 10 minutes?
I have no
And the
idea.
game's been going on.
Dead by Daylight, correct? Is what you're
It's
referring
been
to?
going, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been
I've never
going
played
on
it.
for 10 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Still widely popular. It's not that great, but the way that they have that game set up, you can play cross-play through all platforms. You could play cooperatively with your friends, or you could play against your friends.
Yeah.
And from social games that you've played, like that's what makes it fun. Like, sure, I want to beat the raid with my crew, right? But I still want to see who's the best, and I still want to fight them all against each other. Guild Wars. Sometimes it's fun to just play with yourself, and then
Yeah.
you get to write the script, right? You get to be the hero of the story.
Sorry,
She really
we're
does love
giggling
me.
at the chat right now, guys. They are having a field day with this topic. So I guess so. My first question would be because Ray Rock in chat raises a really good question in my opinion. So if we think so, we've obviously largely been talking about strictly PvP games, or I shouldn't say PvP, strictly single player games like God of War, versus strictly social games like Among Us and Dead by Daylight. I think Dead by Daylight is exclusively multiplayer, correct? Is there a single player
Right,
campaign
yeah.
to that? Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
you can't kill yourself.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So, what about the games that have both options? So, a game like Call of Duty, where you have both the option to play just the single player campaign mode, or you have the option to play the multiplayer game mode. Like, which one are you taking, Jahnu?
Right. Well, again, like I'm not playing because traditionally you would be if you were in single player mode, you'd be playing against what we call NPCs, right? You'd be playing
Yes.
against the computer. And NPCs are notoriously stupid, predictable, and dumb. We're moving towards, at least with PC gaming, a world where we can have AI controlled NPCs and they're a little bit smarter,
Yeah.
which helps. Consoles are going to kind of be lagging behind on that, um, but yeah, it's still more of a challenge, right?
Mhm.
It's more of a flex. If you beat a person than if you beat a computer or an AI controlled opponent. Now, it might be more fun. If
That's-
you could go out there with your giant axe in God of War
Yeah.
and just slay 1,000 goblin skeleton guys, like it's cool. But don't you want to fight me instead?
So you raised a really good point with that because I wasn't going to think like 1,000 characters in God of War, but one of the big brags you have in games like that is beating it on God of War mode. Same thing with Elden Ring,
Right.
playing at the highest level. I'm not sure exactly what that is titled, but playing at that highest level, like that's a big brag, a big accomplishment factor. But is it as fun as beating another person? That's a really good question, and this is where I hate because I feel like you're leaning me.
Like words with friends. Like don't make it complicated. Make it simple.
I literally was going to use that as an example. Good call. Good call.
Yeah. Like just a dumb little thing. I'm still an everyday Wordle player.
Yes.
I'm still an everyday Wordle player. And for the years that I've been playing Wordle, as soon as I get done, I post it somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Right? I don't care if it's Facebook, I don't care if it's Discord, but somebody's going to know Jahnu got it in 3 today.
Nice.
Just so you're aware. And
You-
that's what makes it fun.
You really bring up a good point, especially with the what is more fun, beating another person or beating the game itself. And I would agree it is more fun beating the person than it is the game. I'm curious, chat, and or anyone that's listening after the fact, if you get a game like Ray Rock mentioned, like Call of Duty, something that has both multiplayer and single player campaign modes, which one do you prefer? Which one do you like playing more? I have always, admittedly, if I'm playing Call of Duty, for instance, I prefer the single player game mode. So I'm definitely drawn more towards the single player games than I am the social games. But, Jahnu, you're saying that it is absolutely reasonable, correct? Yes? That social games are better. All right, so he's saying reasonable, guys.
Thumbs up. J Murph with the conversational side of social gaming. That's a very classy way of saying trash talk. I appreciate that, J Murph. He's trying to elevate the podcast here with his fancy talk.
You know what?
But, yeah.
You know what? I was going to go reasonable. Until J Murph brought that up. Because for every good thing, there's also a bad thing. For every time you get to talk to somebody that's really awesome and really fun to hang out with while you're gaming, you end up always inevitably getting one of those little 10-year-olds that are talking like, and I can't stand them. So I'm going for ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. These single player games are definitely better. Fight me. Let us know in the comments, folks. Who is right on this? Is it me or is it Jahnu? Are they reasonable or ridiculous? I do teach.
Trash talk, but a game like Peak. Well, when we play Peak, we play a lot of Peak at the Shore House. And when we play Peak, we cheat. We get on Discord voice. Like, they have proximity chat on that, but we cheat. We go right to Discord.
Nice.
And this way, if you're on the other side of the mountain, I can just yell and you can hear me.
I love it. Meanwhile, the chat is roasting me right now because they're like, don't you teach 10-year-olds? Yes, I do.
I do. I just don't play Fortnite with them. No, we're not playing Fortnite.
Right. Funny story. I wasn't going to go into this in the podcast, but I'm going to since it's kind of brought up. So I was at cafeteria duty today, and one of my second graders raises her hand, super, super excited. She was like, Mr. Shaka, come here, Mr. Shaka. I was like, hold on a second. She was like, no, come here, I gotta talk to you. So I get over there. I was like, what's up, Madison? I'm gonna call her Madison. That's not her real name because I can't say her name. Anyway, what's up, Madison? And she was like, did you go live on TikTok? And I was like, I didn't go live. She was like, I'm pretty sure I saw you on TikTok. I was like, oh,
you see.
I was like, what was happening? And she was like, you were listening to music with headphones on and nodding your head a lot. I was like, oh, that might have been me, but I wasn't live. And so now she's super confused because in her mind, you can only go live and be on TikTok.
Right.
So as long as I keep saying I wasn't live, I have an excuse. But every time she sees me now, she's like, are you sure you didn't go live on TikTok? So anyway, sorry. Just a funny little story related to, yes, I do teach 10-year-olds, guys. Anyway, speaking of me teaching 10-year-olds, I don't teach about gaming. I teach about music, which leads us to our third topic.
Musical music.
So, Jahnu, we had a really, really interesting discussion pre-stream kind of about this. Not this directly, but it was related to this. So for our music topic, guys, we always discuss an A versus B thing here. Which one is better and or worse, depending on the scenario? So the question we have today is, would you rather listen to free AI music or pay for human music? So obviously I'm referencing paying for things like Spotify or YouTube Music, things like that. Versus if you could get the AI music for free. So let's say somebody makes their own AI music and then posts it onto a YouTube channel and you can listen to it as much as you want to free of charge. Jahnu, which one would you prefer?
So this is an all or nothing thing.
Yes.
Because I do think that like it is situational.
I would agree.
The comparison that I usually make is that like AI music is fast food. Whereas, human music would be like a home cooking.
Ooh.
And as much as I like a fresh baked bread, right out of the oven, Baconator slap too. right? So there is room for both in this world. I don't mean to judge any of them. Um, but for me, music has always been I prefer music live.
Oh, okay.
I
Interesting.
like live performances, whether they be concerts, whether it be going to the theater, whether it be going to a sporting event. I like to enjoy it live. That's what I do. And
Oh,
for a live music performance, even if it's recorded, right, I would pay for that.
nice.
Um, the concert videos on Netflix and stuff like that, you get to watch the Eras tour or whatever.
Yes.
Like, sure, like where would you be able to see Celine Dion in Vegas, right? I can watch it on Netflix. That's awesome. I'll pay for that. Um, but if I'm just background music
Hmm.
or just filler music
Hmm.
or like work sitting on your desk music,
Mm.
AI music's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not my main meal of the day, right? It's just kind of something to keep me
It's
occupied
just a little 4-piece
until I
nugget.
get to the good stuff. Yeah, you get a little chicken nuggets. You know what I mean?
Who doesn't love a good
Uh,
chicken nugget?
so I do. I think AI music has its place, and I think that everyone listens to a lot more AI music than you realize because
Ooh,
it's winding up in the backgrounds everywhere. Every
yes.
ad you watch, every commercial you watch, every background video and stuff like that. This AI music is creeping in more and more. Now they have AI pop stars.
Yep.
Um, would I pay to watch an AI pop star perform live?
Let me ask this, because that's kind of an open-ended question. What
Okay.
if that AI pop star was not knowably AI to you? What if it was
Oh, so they
not?
were tricking.
Yes. So like they were
Because I'm
pretending.
saying go all out, give it the Vegas show, put it on stage, give it one of those, holographic avatars, like when they made Tupac come back, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And this is like what we would see in the movies. There'd
Right.
be this shimmery ghost character, but it would be like a Japanese pop star, and that would be your AI,
Yes.
whatever. But yeah, because I think in a lot of the film, TV, and commercials that we watch, there's AI avatar actors that we don't realize they are.
Right.
The guy in the white coat who's selling you the pills on TV. That's not a real person. Nobody auditioned for that role. You know what I mean? It's an avatar, and that's fine. Um, Music that was written by a human but sung by an AI. I'd rather reverse that.
So that's what I was going to say.
Um,
So John is referring to a comment from J Murph in chat there. He said, "Would you pay for music that's written by a human but sung by an AI?" I would say I'm less likely to do that, but the other way around, music's written by
right.
AI but sung by a human, yeah, I would do that probably.
Because we remember autotune, right?
Yep, yep,
They got
yep.
a program that made your voice pitch perfect, and everybody hated it,
Yeah,
and
it's
then it turned
terrible.
into a meme, and then you got T-Pain. You know what I mean? Like
I will
they
say
hated.
this though. So we think about the world of like T-Pain autotune and what it was like back then. Like so we talked about Beauty and the Beast, the remake of that with Emma Watson or whatever her name was, and the autotuning that was going on with that. We talked about that in a previous episode. Go check that out, guys. I forget which one it is, but anyway, that was horrendous, horrendous. Today's AI singing is not that. It is
Right.
drastically better. And to put it in perspective for anybody that is unaware, the opening song and our closing song that we have here for the Shawk Talk podcast is AI. That is all AI. That is not a live recording. That is not me commissioning somebody. That is just an
You didn't sing
AI.
that?
Yeah, right. I wish I had the money to commission somebody to write our intro and outros. But that is just all AI. But the vocals in particular on that are mind blowing. It's one thing to write a song because, especially pop music. So again, we're getting into the reaction channel discussions here. I have a lot of times. Pop music does not mean the pop genre of music. Pop music means anything that is popular versus that of like classical music, which is something that has been around for a long time. So when I say pop music, I'm talking about anything that is popular and listened to on the regular. That all has a very formulaic way about it. Obviously, you'll have some variations on it and how it's written, but any computer program can easily figure out how to write a basic song following those platforms. You have an intro, maybe you have verse, you have chorus, you alternate between verse and chorus. You might have a development. Maybe you throw in a pre-chorus just for a little bit of vibe to go with some extra, and you have a coda, an outro, and you're done. Bam,
There's a
it's easy.
song, Fear. Fear, tell me what the song is because she requested it on one of my streams. But there's a song that explains in song form how every pop song is the same 8 bars.
Oh, yes.
And then they just go through, they do that like Pharrell thing where they'll go through
It's
like 5 different songs from 5 different genres and it's all using the same.
the original one that I'm aware of is Pachelbel. So Pachelbel's Canon in D is the song that they use. He's playing it on a cello, and he basically plays all these different songs. Yeah, the 4-chord song by Axis of Awesome is came from the Pachelbel Canon in D video. That one actually came afterwards. But the Pachelbel Rant, yes, thank you, Fear Knock. Yes, Pachelbel Rant is officially the name of that video. But yeah, most songs use 4 chords. They just repeat those 4 chords. So not only is it a chord structure thing that's easy to replicate, it's also a form. Form is what I'm referring to when I say verse, chorus, pre-chorus, bridge, all of that stuff. That's the form of a song. It's very, very, very easily replicated without a problem. So AI writing music, not a problem at all, in my opinion. But performing is a little bit more challenging.
Right, and that's where it comes in. Like I said, for a live performance, then I would definitely be willing, even if it was recorded, even if I'm watching a video or listening to something,
Mhm.
a live performance, it would be worth it, right? So
Yes.
like the last Ozfest show, right? In
Mhm.
any form, on any platform, even in a bad recording, I would pay for that because that's amazing. But the music that I'm listening to in my car
Mhm.
or while I'm doing computer work at home, it doesn't have to be premium.
Right. That's a really good point.
It's just filler.
So
So
I was gonna say with this question, I feel like there's gonna be it's gonna depend on, I can't talk, certain circumstances. So for instance, for me, a big thing with this would be price. So for
okay.
instance, like right now, Spotify for a month is like $12. I think YouTube is 15, something like that. It's around that number. What happens though if the human industry of music decides to pump those numbers way up? So instead of it being like $15 a month, it jumps to $50 a month, and AI music is still free. I'm really starting to consider swaying my thing at that, my decision at that point. And
Now
I
we used to
think
pay $20 for 12 songs,
that's
right? And
true.
Sam Goody and FYE and those stupid discs,
That's a good
right?
point.
So we used to pay $20 for 12 songs. So music has gotten a lot of cheaper, and I do
Mhm.
appreciate those services because you get that diversity.
Yes.
But when the new Gorillaz album came out, like the first thing I did was run the Spotify so I could hear it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I wasn't going to go buy the Gorillaz album. Like
Right.
that sounds crazy. Um, and I love the Gorillaz. You know what I mean? It's not that I don't enjoy the music and appreciate it,
Right.
but something like Nirvana's MTV Unplugged.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Where that was a special event,
Yes.
and that was a once in a lifetime, and it was a live performance, and it was in a special theater, and it was a huge band. I saw floating around one of the Discords, somebody was going to see Metallica at the Sphere.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard that they're
Mm.
performing out there now. They're like, I forget how long they're signed to perform out there, but it's for a little while.
I would pay to hear a bad bootleg audio recording of that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it
Yep.
wouldn't even have to be good just because of the event. But the new Metallica album, I'm not paying a dime to listen to.
Yeah. Agreed. I think I'm kind of in your camp where I think if it's just generic listening, I'd be fine with AI music at this point because it's advanced so much. But I would be willing to pay some primo money to see, in particular, live performances of something. Like seeing Metallica at the Sphere would be so dope. Like I would absolutely be willing to pay for something like that versus other options. With that being said, okay, so I feel like we have to make a decision here, Jahnu. So with the way the question is worded currently, would you rather listen to free
Okay.
AI music or pay for human music? For me currently, given the prices where things are now, I'm still going to go with pay for human music. I would still prefer the human element over AI just because of the musicality and particularly, like you mentioned, the live performance aspect of it. I actually prefer, I talked about it on some of our reaction videos, I prefer live music because I hear the imperfections in the music. I actually like the imperfections over the studio overly produced version of things. So I'm going with human music. Which one are you taking?
No, I think by and large, I think AI music's fine, and I think the price factor, tilts things in AI music part. So there's some extreme examples of human music that I would absolutely be happy to pay for. But in general, by and large, I'm fine with AI music.
Nice. Let us know in the comments down below, guys. Which one would you choose? And I think more importantly in the discussion, I think this is where it comes down to. What would your price point be? How much is too much for you to listen to human music instead of free AI music? I think for me, I'm going to say $100 a month. If I got to pay $100 a month, I'm going with AI music. What do you think, Johnny? What's your number?
Yeah, my number is significantly lower. I think it's like 20 or 25 because again, what is the role? What the role are we serving? And again, this is something you can get at other places too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I don't have Spotify. Okay, then YouTube. Then there's radio. Like, it's not hard to find
that is
music
true.
to listen to.
That is true. There are other options.
So yeah, no, I don't worry about it too much.
Good point. Good point. Kind of like me and my antenna, Johnny, right? Johnny was making fun of me for having an antenna before streaming.
I'm like, how are you watching? How are you watching the tournament? You don't have cable. He's got an antenna.
Yeah, I use an antenna, guys. I'm old school. Old school.
It's on top of the barn. It gets really good
Yes.
reception on top of the barn.
It works great.
Shaka's Amish. Spoiler.
Speaking of antennas and TV reception, guys. Next topic is
Scintillating cinema.
So I know you're all like, what's an antenna have to do with cinema? Well, so it's kind of related to what we're discussing here with our question today. So for our scintillating cinema question we've got here, John, just so again everyone is aware that is listening, we rate this on a thumbs up, thumbs down scale. So 2 thumbs up for like, yeah, absolutely all on board completely. 1 thumb up, agree, could be better. 1 thumb down, 2 thumbs down, absolutely not, terrible, terrible, terrible. What are your thoughts on premium pricing? It exists currently. We'll talk about the numbers here in a moment. But what are your thoughts on premium pricing to stream currently in theater movies? Have you done it? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
So we're talking about strictly home viewing.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
So
for instance,
I think of like Amazon Prime. So there are a lot of times where there's a movie that is exclusively in theater. I guess I shouldn't say exclusively if it's available for you to purchase. But anyway, it's in theater. You can't like see it anywhere else unless you are willing to pay, like usually it's like $30. You could pay $30 to be able to watch that movie at home, one time only, like rental $30 for you to be able to see it. It's not common. It does happen for some movies. Like I want to say that Wicked had that as an option, I believe. I'm not completely certain on that. But it is an option that does pop up from time to time for certain movies. Have you tried it yet? I'm assuming that's a no.
No, I haven't. And Wicked was one that brought up because we were big fans. We've seen Wicked in New York. We've seen it. We went and saw both movies, and we saw them pretty quickly after they came out. And we're not big movie theater people.
Yes.
Because I think the movie theater, the quality of that experience has just gone completely in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
It used to somewhat resemble going to see a play or a
Yes.
stage performance. And now it is literally a warehouse box with the worst possible food imaginable. And the whole thing's just covered in the cheapest, tackiest merch that you ever saw. So it takes a lot, maybe once a year, to get me to a movie theater. But, when you enjoy the movies and you want to see them early, $30 sounds way too steep for a one-time only view of a movie. Like, that's more than going to the movie theater? Yeah?
For one person, it is, yes. But think about if you've got like a family and you're seeing, so for instance, Zootopia 2. For a family of 4, that $30 number isn't so bad now.
Are you charging a cover?
I
Or
am,
kids.
in
I
case
want. I
any
want.
copyright people are watching this, I am not charging people to come, nor am I showing a large number of people outside of my household any
Right.
movies that I am renting.
Because then you have to pay bar prices.
Yes, exactly. Or get copyright sued.
Yeah. No. No, I guess, and I've even seen like, the group watch things and all these available, trying to
Mm.
create the kind of like that group home experience, where like everybody's getting together and watching the TV together. They're all watching because they all agreed on the same movie,
Yeah.
right? Um, I don't know. It I think it's something that you put out there. I think you're not going to get a lot of volume on it, but it's gravy money because you're just charging extra for nothing,
Correct. That's a good point.
right?
Yeah.
It's a way to charge. It's a way to charge a customer a little bit extra for nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
The way I look
and like
the way I look at it
watch parties are a
from
lot of fun.
like from a like a movie production studio, the way I look at it from them is most of the people that are gonna buy that rental are people that
Yeah.
will refuse to go to the theater. So like it makes sense for them. I understand why they're doing it. I just question whether it's something that we as consumers would want to do necessarily. You know what I mean?
The one time only really hurt me. Like I
Yeah.
was like, you can only watch it once.
It's like a rental though. Any other rental would be the same way. You get 48
Oh,
hours,
yeah.
I think is usually
And then
typically
you
what
have
it
to bring
is
back.
to watch it. I think with Amazon, because I do a decent number of Amazon rentals, or at least I used to. I think with their policy, you have 30 days to start the rental. And then once you start it, then it's got to be consumed within 48 hours. Like you lose access to it within 48 hours. So I'm assuming it's similar to that for the in-theater movies. I could be wrong because I personally have not actually done an in-theater streaming purchase either. I am all about it because, like you, I hate the theater.
Yeah.
Not only do I think it is tacky and the prices for popcorn and all that stuff are through the roof and ridiculous. But for me, it's more of a people issue. I hate the people
Oh,
that go to the
yeah.
movie theaters. Like,
So at first they had the row seating, right? The stadium seating,
Yep.
where every time you wanna get a soda, you have to rub your butt on everybody's face as you go down the row,
yep.
right? So they said, no, we'll fix it. We'll put recliner chairs, right, instead.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm sitting next to your family of four, right? They all got jumbo drinks. They all got jumbo popcorn. They got a blanket. The one's got a tablet. The other one's got a plushie with them. And they are camped out right next to me where the dad could reach over and we could hold hands. Right? Like you didn't make it better.
No, and here's the other thing. This is where I'm gonna be like the guy from Simpsons, the grandpa that goes out and just shouts at the cloud,
Oh, yeah.
old man making loud noises, because I feel like an old man with this complaint. My biggest thing I hate about going to theaters is people that talk during the movie, and I'm not talking about
That's me.
people like that lean over and be like, "Hey, what are you gonna get for dinner tonight?" You know, like those people are fine because they're whispering and I can't hear them. I'm talking about the kids, it's usually kids. Sometimes it's adults too, that are like, "What's happening? I don't understand what's going on." And then they have to ask every 2 minutes about what's happening in the movie because they won't just shut up and listen. Just shut up and listen to the movie and you'll know what is happening. Like, oh, they drive me insane.
Yeah. And like I said, you should definitely watch movies at home.
Yes.
Right. Now I'm one, I talk during the whole movie. What really makes me mad is I can't use my phone.
Really?
Like I'm mad that I can't take out my phone and text people and check what time. Like for me, the ideal movie experience would be an outdoor one, like an outdoor plaza with food trucks, and then they have a big screen. You don't watch TV in the dark in your house. Why am I sitting in an empty warehouse watching a movie? That's kind of silly.
See, but
I think we have the
that.
technology now.
I feel like we're on totally opposite ends of the world of the spectrum right now. Like when I watch a movie at home, it's pitch black. I don't touch my phone. Like I want an actual like in theater experience. Like I can get that at home in my basement. I mean, obviously I don't have the technology that you have in really good theaters now, you know, But
Mm.
it's blackout, no phone. The most distraction I have is my dog trying to jump up and cuddle on me. Other than that, nothing else. Give me that all day
Yeah, we
long.
do have drive-through movies back in the 80s. Heck yeah. Um, no.
Actually, speaking of that, I debated doing this question or should drive-through movies make a comeback? Movie
Oh
theater,
yeah,
drive-through
drive-through
movie
movies
theaters
should
make a comeback.
definitely make it. And if you charge by the car, you could just print money. Like you would just be a billionaire. You could buy the next election.
Really? So your team
Um,
drive-ins? I would have said no. We
heck
also
yeah.
have very apparently very different takes on movie theater experiences.
I found
here.
out Jaka doesn't like outside. That's what I found. Outside or
Yeah,
people.
grass is so bad.
No, I just want to play God of War in silence, in darkness, all by myself. No, I think again, a lot of the problem was created by the movie industry, and the reason why is because they don't have event movies anymore. When they had event movies, you had to see it because everybody saw it, and we all saw it at the same time, and
That's a good
all your
point.
friends would spoil it, and you couldn't wait until Memorial Day weekend, right? Or the week after Christmas. All the big movies would come out,
Right.
right? And now everything's nichified, right? Everybody's got their own little movies that they saw, and they only want to talk about them.
That's a
And
good
there's
point.
no shared experience. When a new big franchise movie comes out, we're gonna have a new Transformers or a new Star Wars or a new whatever, and everybody's just like, maybe I'll watch it on Disney. Maybe I'll catch it in a couple weeks. Like there's no community experience that way.
You know, you
With
raise a really
film
good
culture.
point because so I don't go to the theater almost ever. The only exceptions to that are the really, really big movies where I don't want to get spoilers beforehand. So the last movie, oh Lord, I think the last movie I saw in a movie theater was Spider-Man. No Way
Okay.
Home is the most recent one, I believe. Because I was actually gonna wait, but I heard there were massive spoilers, and I was like, oh no, I gotta get in there fast. So like I didn't see it opening night, but I went the Friday after the opening night because I was so worried about spoilers. So like for me, that's the only movie that I'll go to the theater to see at this point is those really big. You got to see it, big
Yeah.
events like you said, big event movie event.
And again, for me, it would be Star Wars, and I remember what I got killed on Force Awakens.
Mhm.
Force Awakens came out. Star Wars always makes their movies come out on Christmas, so
Yep.
I couldn't be there like Christmas Day or whenever it came out or whatever. So it took a week or two for me to go see the new Star Wars movie. And I picked up my phone and I went to check the weather of the sports, and there it was. Han Solo dies. And I'm like, oh, so do I care? Does it matter? Am I going to sit through this whole movie to watch this inevitable thing that I know is going to happen that's
Oh,
been
man.
ruined for me?
Wow.
Yes, I did. I loved the movie. I loved the scene, even though I knew it was coming.
Right.
And it didn't matter. And then after that, I guess it did. It lost a lot of steam for me. Like there's no like event. Like if I find out what happens, what happens. Now the unfortunate part about Star Wars is they've paywalled it and gatekeeped it. So there's a gun to your head. You have to pay $40 a month if you want to consume any Star Wars content now.
Yep.
So I don't see any of it, and I might never see it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm strongly considering dropping my Disney Plus because there's just not enough
Dropped it
content that's good, and
years
it's
ago.
the price is through the roof on it right now. Wow. Okay, so really, really good stuff here, Jahnu. So let's cap off our topic here. Premium pricing to stream in theater movies. Are you giving this 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up, 1 thumb down, or 2 thumbs down?
No, I'm going to give it 1 thumb down because I do think that like there's a place for it. But I don't see myself. I'm not in that demographic.
Gotcha. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, baby. Let's go. I don't want to be anywhere near the people.
One thing about your way, Shaka, is when you reach into the recliner and that little spot between the seat and the armrest, you know, when you reach right down in that crevice,
Yeah,
you know what's down there because you put it down there.
this is true.
Whereas when I'm doing it at the movie theater, who knows what's down there?
It's some dangerous area you're going into there, sir. It's funny. I'm noticing a connection here. You were team social games. You're also team seeing movies in theaters. I am team single player games and team stay away from people. I apparently am a hermit, guys. Confirmed.
Hermit, who's also a teacher.
Yeah,
Maybe-
Hermit is a
maybe
teacher.
teaching ruined people for you.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yes, I have to socialize too much during the day. I don't want to do it anytime.
If there's any
outside.
students listening, this is all your fault.
Oh, there are definitely former students listening. There's been a lot of since I started putting stuff out on Instagram and TikTok now. Well, there are a lot of former students and current students that are aware of our content. So they might be watching right now. Who knows?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
It is crazy. All right, Jahnu, moving on to our final topic, the one I think is always the most fun. We've got
Tiramisu tap room.
So with this one, this is going to be geared more towards you specifically. Anytime we have a guest on that is from a pretty culinary specialist type of area or has their own kind of special foods, I like to do something that is geared towards their area that they are from. Jahnu obviously is from Jersey. Very familiar with a lot of Jersey Shore staples in particular. That's kind of what you guys are famous for. So we're going to be doing a tier ranking of Jersey Shore staples today, guys. Now, for anybody that is unfamiliar with tier rankings, we have S tier, which is the top tier. That's the absolute best. We have A tier, just below that. Very, very good, but just not quite the best. B tier, solid. Not terrible, not great, just solid. Canada, we call it Canada here, otherwise known as C tier for most people. They're just okay. It's just okay. And then we've got D tier, which is no good. That is not something anybody is interested in. No, thank you. Now, Jahnu, we have a little bit of a ripple that we throw into with this here on the Shawk Tawk podcast, and that is that you can only put one item in a tier. So we have 5 different items, but you can only put one item in S tier. You can only put one item in D tier. You can only put one item in Canada. So be careful with where you place these things so you don't get caught in a trap. Now,
Right.
our 5 things that we are tier ranking, everybody. We have saltwater taffy, frozen custard, curly fries. Oh, I can't wait for the curly fries discussion. Pork roll and boardwalk pizza. Now, some of these I've had before. Some of them I think are much more common for a lot of people to have experienced. Some of them less so. So, Jahnu, we might lean on your experience a little bit with a couple of these. We're going to start out with saltwater taffy. Saltwater taffy, pretty famous for Jersey Shore, yeah?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that in all the shops going down, when you go on the Jersey Shore, they have a lot of confectionaries, like good old fashioned candy makers, and everything from the hard candies in the jars to homemade fudge. Saltwater taffy is a staple down there. It's made with that saltwater air that they have down in Jersey, and you can see the taffy pulled. And a lot of these taffy makers are more than 100 years old, these businesses.
Yeah.
So it's definitely part of the culture, the DNA here.
So it's not just candy; it's a significant history. It sounds like when I went to Mackinac Island this past summer, and for them it was fudge. Like you weren't just getting fudge; you were like purchasing like hundreds of years of history and culture when you got that fudge.
That's the island with no cars, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. The island with not only no cars, but like no engines of any kind, I believe is what the rule is. So it's really interesting. Everything is like horses or bikes. It was really
Butter
cool.
churn.
Yeah. Churning your butter. Yes. Anyway. Jahnu, where are you putting saltwater taffy at, sir?
Saltwater taffy is going to be last. It's a tourist thing, right? When the tourists come through, you get it. And usually what I'll do is that'll be like the gift, right? You'll get like the saltwater taffy. You'll get the fudge. You eat the fudge on the way home. Right. The saltwater taffy, you like, oh yeah, I got you something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like a fridge magnet.
Dude, I did not think we'd be on the same page on this one, but I'm on the same boat. So I have had the saltwater taffy before. I really didn't like it. I'm not a big candy person in general, so that doesn't help my cause.
Very dense, very chewy. It's not good for soft teeth.
Yeah, like my mouth hurts afterwards because my muscles hurt from chewing so much. Like you said, it's not
now
really.
Second graders would love it.
Yes, which I as a teacher hate because they're insane after they have this. So one more reason for me to hate saltwater taffy.
Boo.
But for me, I like your analogy of it's just a tourist gift, really, more than anything else. Like nobody's buying this. Nobody's going to Jersey Shore and saying like, "Ooh, I can't wait to get me some saltwater taffy." Like no.
A big box of candy. I'm sitting on the beach.
Right. So I am absolutely with you, sir. This is D tier for me. D tier for both of us, guys. That's an easy one. All right, moving on to our second option, frozen custard. Now, from what I understand, Jahnu, there is a specific place that is famous for their frozen custard, yes?
At Coors Brothers.
Mm. Have you been there specifically? I assume yes.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Okay. So is it like that place's frozen custard is light years better than everybody else's, or is it just that like it's a historical thing and like it's just what it's known for?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that was where, like, the standard was set,
Okay.
right? So this is the bar, and then again, you can get frozen custard. You can get frozen custard anywhere.
Right, 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 right.
You can get Coors Brothers at the mall,
Mhm.
and everybody kind of puts their own, twist on it. But if you want that significance of like, this is where it started, this is the original recipe, this is the history behind the frozen custard. It is a cold treat. Which does give it an advantage because if you're at the shore, if you're at the beach, it's probably warm
yeah.
weather.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, frozen custard would be like a definite must on the way out, right? You're not going to
Okay.
buy it on the way to the beach,
Right.
right? But as you're kind of winding your trip down for the day, you grab a frozen custard.
You don't want to
Why
go to
not?
the beach with the frozen custard and have the sand get in it?
No. Sandy custard is not
I hate
not
sand.
where it's at.
I hate sand. Do you hate sand, John?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Especially in your bathing suit places.
I'm with you on that. I would get the custard afterwards. And we have really good custard here in Pittsburgh too. A little shout out for Pittsburgh called the Meadows. Great frozen custard here. But I definitely can see like you go to the beach, it's hot out, you want to get just a nice little sweet treat. It's cool when you're leaving. Like, sounds absolutely great to me. I'll go first on the rating, and then I'm going to hear yours because I think you're probably going to sweet talk this up a little bit, pun intended. For me, frozen custard is going to go in the A tier.
Really?
Yes, I'm going up to
That's
A.
a hot take.
Yes,
That's a hot
it's
take.
ice
A
cream.
tier, A
It's
tier.
hot
Tough
out.
cookie.
You're at the beach. It's so good, man. Like I don't know how anybody could
It is
not
good.
like frozen custard. A tier.
And there's a lot out there from variety because we're famous for our water ice. Water ice is huge down here, so we have those freezing treats, and then the Dole Whips. The Dole Whips have invaded the Jersey Shore, and now we
Yes.
have 4 or 5 Dole Whip stops.
Oh, they're so good.
You know what I mean? So there are a lot of frozen treat options,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I'm going to drop it a little bit lower. What do we at D? I think frozen. This might work. I'm going to put it in Canada.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate your attempt to keep it on theme. But there's so many varieties and flavors. It's not just vanilla like Canada is. Sorry, Canada. If anybody does not know the reference, actually, I love Canada. We have a ton of people, a ton of viewers in the channel here that are Canadian. We like to give them a hard time. But I'm surprised you've got that low.
Yeah, like I said, there are a lot of other frozen treat options. And like I said, the variety part of it, okay, like, all right, I've seen the vanilla, I've seen the chocolate, I've seen the swirl,
Yeah.
I've even seen like an orange, if I'm remembering that right. But yeah, I mean it is. It's not like, okay, if saltwater taffy is something you buy as you're leaving and then give to a friend as a gift, then again, custard is the thing that you buy on your way out. It's not, part of that experience.
Wow. Let us know in comments, guys. I think everyone's going to agree saltwater taffy D tier. If you don't agree with that, I don't want to hear you. Don't make a comment because you're just wrong. But let us know who is right on frozen custard. Is it A tier or is it C tier? There's no in between. Which one is it, guys? Show me that I'm correct and I know more about Jersey things than Jahnu does. I know how ridiculous that sounds right now. All right, our third one. This is probably gonna get spicy.
Yeah.
Curly fries. Curly fries, Jahnu. I'm going to let you go first on this one because I have a history with curly fries.
Well, I will say this. Curly fries would be my most favorite fry shape. I would definitely argue on the merits of having a fry curly.
Mhm.
Generally, when I come across curly fries, they have that seasoning, right? You're not going to get a
Yes.
pale, plain curly fry.
Yep.
It's usually got some specks and some stuff going on in there, and I
Mhm.
really do appreciate that. You
Yeah.
add in the dipping sauces, and you kind of got yourself a party.
I like that reference.
I'm kind of into the curly fries. I'm not gonna lie. What do we have left? Did I use my C and D
So
already?
you've used C and D. Yep. So you've got curly fries,
Right.
pork roll, and boardwalk pizza are your remaining three.
But I only got 2 letters left.
No, you've got B, A, and S left for you.
Oh, and S.
Yeah,
And
S tier.
S.
S
Okay,
tier
I
is your
forgot
top.
S.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then I think, yeah, curly fries would be a definite staple. It would be something that I'd want to get every time I went. I'm always in the mood for curly fries. You're never like, nah, I'm just not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a great snack. And like I said, you can play around with it. You can have your different dipping sauces and your different fun things. Like so, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go B with curly fries.
Huh. That's okay. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was afraid you were going to put it up higher. I was afraid you were going to go with A. So for his history behind this, Jahnu, we used to do on Saturday nights. We would do tier rankings all the time. And for anybody that's unaware of this, and we did a now infamous tier ranking of different types of French fries.
Okay.
And we had a lot of things that you would expect to be the case with that tier ranking. The big exception was curly fries because the chat loves curly fries. They think they're amazing. Just the same things you said. They're a really fun shape. It's like having a little party. They've got all that extra seasoning on them that makes them so unique to anything else. They're great, right? Wrong. They are horrible unless you have one key thing. If you're missing just this one key item, trash. Absolute trash. I will never put it in my mouth. That is
Oh,
ketchup. Yes, I will not put it in my mouth. It is ketchup. If you don't have ketchup to dip your curly fries in, it is straight up trash. Straight up trash. The only reason I'm not putting this in D tier is because at least my mouth doesn't hurt when I eat curly fries, unlike when I eat saltwater taffy. And I can always add ketchup to my curly fries if I really have to. I'm not adding ketchup to my saltwater taffy. So because of that, it should be D tier. It should be straight trash D tier. I'm going to bump it to C tier because I could add
for
ketchup.
ketchup.
For ketchup, yes, ketchup. Heinz, baby. Heinz only. If it is not Heinz, it is F tier. If you put that Hunt's nonsense on that curly fry, it is F. Get it out of here. No, thank you. Nothing can save your Jersey Shore French fries unless it is Heinz ketchup.
Shaka, you may work with second graders, but you don't have to live like a second grader. Sriracha exists.
No.
Tabasco exists. What are you still putting a kitty condiment on your French fries for? I do not understand this.
It's like my chicken nuggies. I I have my chicken nuggies with ranch.
Holy
It's because that's all
moly.
I see in the cafeteria every day, day after day. Chicken nuggies with ranch and French fries with ketchup. That's my life, guys. And as SVR
In the
says,
basement, beating
SVR,
God of War.
yeah, as SVR says in chat, this is why we can't do tier rankings anymore. We literally had a massive division in the community over this
Ketchup
topic.
war.
We have
I could
literally
see.
we have a command for it. I don't know if it's active currently, but there was a command for it when we would play bingo about curly fries. I forget what it is exactly off the top of my head, but yeah, this was a very contentious topic. So I've got mine C tier. You said B tier. We're actually not as far apart on that as I thought we would. By the way, I thought we'd be a
No,
little
as long as
further.
we're not talking about those dumb waffle fries, then fine. But I see no value whatsoever in waffling a fry.
I'm just pausing to allow everybody watching currently or listening to Keyboard Warrior right now and just come at you. I'm just giving them time. I'm letting them make their comments.
Are coming.
Yes, the waffle people are coming.
Yeah.
That is
so overrated.
That is
so overrated.
That is such a terrible take that it's even worse than my curly fry take. Waffle fries are S tier, sir. They are absolutely S tier. Yes.
The holes are too small. It's weird shaped. I don't know if I got a potato chip. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I'm not scooping. Like, do you scoop waffle fries with all your ketchup? Like
No.
a 10-year-old, right?
No. See, that's a key distinction. I talked about that. I don't need ketchup with waffle fries. So that means that they can be above C tier. Like, if I have to add a condiment to it for it to be good, it's not good. I have to add ketchup to curly fries to eat them. I will not eat them otherwise. Waffle fries?
So you're raw dogging waffle fries. Just
Yes,
plain.
absolutely. I will raw dog that waffle all day long.
See, this is why
No
you're
matter
in
what
the
the color
basement.
is. Oh, let us know in the comments, guys, how far off are... I don't even think we need to ask about a ranking on this. It's more of a which one is worse or better, curly fry or waffle fry? Let us know. Which team are you? Hashtag team waffle fry, hashtag team curly fry. Let us know in the comments.
Cookie's putting waffle fries in her frozen custard.
Oh, that would be good.
Why not do both? I did used to do, McDonald's French fries in the vanilla milkshake. I did used to do that, and that was good until I found something better, which is Sambuca
Oh, I thought you were going to say
in a McDonald's milkshake.
I thought you were going to say curly fries in a McDonald's milkshake for a second there. I was like, no.
Way better. Way better. Way better.
Oh, sweet potato fries. That's what it was, Ray Rock. Thank you, Ray Rock in chat. Sweet potato fries is what got really contentious. Curly fries were contentious too, but
you don't catch up sweet potato fries, right?
it depends.
Oh,
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on the sweet potato. If it is, so we talked about this too with the steak cut fries. Okay, steak. There's a science to my reasoning, man. Curly fries have to have ketchup. Steak fries have to have ketchup. If it is a thick cut fry with lots of potatoage, has to have ketchup in it. So it depends on the cut of the sweet potato. If the sweet potato is a thin, crispy sweet potato, like a la McDonald's, no ketchup needed. But if it's a thick steak potato, then I need some lube. If it's thick, I need lube.
I'm crying in sriracha every time you say ketchup.
Oh, love it, man. Love it, guys. Let us know, like I said in the comments, are you team curly fry or team waffle fry, everybody? Let us know. All right, our fourth item on our tier ranking. This is the one where I'm going to need a little bit of help. Actually, the last two I'm going to need a little bit of help from you on. And that is the pork roll. So this is a unique thing, correct, for Jersey Shore? So this would be like me saying Permane Brothers. Like, this is not just a sandwich that anyone and their uncle can have. This is a very specific sandwich, yes?
Yes, and it's a very unique slice of meat that you're not going to find anywhere else, and it's got a very particular flavor. So it is. It's when you have like some of these specialty cut meats. When you talk about like Italian deli meats and things like that, like this is something that's very very unique in the area. And of course, like any other local product, we've made it very very diverse. Right, so you can have a pork roll sandwich. You can have a pork roll with egg. I like pork roll, egg, and cheeses. Put a little bit of butter on the roll. Very, very nice. But what the best way I can describe it to people who've never experienced was imagine if Canadian bacon was good. So that rubbery circle disc of they call Canadian bacon, right? Where it looks like it's the part of the ham steak nobody wanted.
Right.
Right? Imagine if that was good. And that's what pork roll is.
Interesting. So I will say I'm it's kind of like my French fries. It comes down to the thickness of my Canadian bacon. If it's a really thick cut of Canadian bacon, then I'm all for it. So it's different than the fries game. But if it's a really really thin cut of Canadian bacon, just give me bacon. I just rather have bacon. Like a ham steak.
Yeah, the idea is to cut the pork roll thick,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then when you cook it, there's a very specific method. So what you have to do is you have your circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put the lines in it. Now some people do like the radiation or the peace sign, where there's a line in the center and then two lines that go out the side,
Yeah.
right? I like the fireman's cross, where you start at the center and you do four lines
Okay.
coming out at the radius. So then when you cook it, it stays flat. It doesn't shrivel up like bacon or
Oh.
Canadian bacon does, and you get that solid, char on both sides.
Yeah, the viscosity
K
is
Murph wants to check the grease.
viscosity. It's so viscous, thick and viscous, guys.
He doesn't want 1-day grease, and he doesn't want 6-day grease. He wants like 3-day grease.
Yes. I will say so. So I obviously just had to go based off of the description of this, but when I looked at the pictures of specifically of the Taylor ham, that's what it's called, correct? The Taylor ham.
Taylor ham is the brand. Product
Okay.
is pork roll.
Okay, gotcha. When I look at that specifically, oh my gosh, man, it looks so good. Like so good. It reminds me a little bit of a permane sandwich, to be honest with you. With the key difference being that
Right.
the permane sandwich has fries and slaw on it. Yours does not.
Right, and what happens is again, you can be very versatile with it. So you
Mhm.
could treat this like any kind of breakfast meat, right?
Right.
So when you pile a bunch of bacon, then it slides all over the place. You bite it, and a whole piece of bacon comes out of the sandwich. This doesn't do that. When you get those sausage patties, like they're super thick, you know
Mhm.
what I mean, and you really have to go at them. This doesn't do that. So you could take a pork roll, you could put it in a sandwich, you could chop it up, you could put it in eggs, you could treat it like it's as versatile as any other pork product.
Yeah.
You could stack it up like a baconator and just eat 4 slices of pork roll on a Kaiser, right? It's still going to be good.
You're making this difficult for me. So, like, I thought for sure that I knew what my S tier one was going to be, and this sounds really good, man. Like this pork
Fried
roll
pork's hard
sounds
to beat,
really
man.
good.
Fried pork's hard to beat.
I'll let you go first because I feel like your take may influence my take on this one. Where are you putting pork roll?
Okay, pork roll is going to be. It's going to be my A. And the reason why it's going to be my A is it is absolutely as versatile as any breakfast meat that you could come up with. But that's where it lands and that's where it stays. You're not having pork roll for lunch. You're not having pork roll for dinner. You're not having pork roll cold. You're not having pork roll. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's kind of where it lands. It is what it is, and it's great at what it is, and it's unique. But there is something better.
I-
So I'm going to put it in A.
Wow. Kogi Lady in chat, your thoughts are exactly on mine. I am just shocked that you didn't say S tier. The way that you described this, I thought for sure you were going to go S tier. So like I was
Fried porky goodness.
I was
It's delicious.
all prepared to put this in S tier. Whereas
A.
pre recording of this, I was not S tier on this. But I thought for
Okay.
sure you were going S tier. I was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow the way. You're the way, the light, and the truth. I don't know. Like, I'm good. Lead me.
I've been changing your mind all night long. I think we
This
need
is
to talk
true.
about real estate and Bitcoin after this is over. I got a couple more pictures.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man. I guess. You know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. Which is me swaying my vote. I'm going to put this in S tier. I'm going to put pork roll in S tier. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. And let's be honest, given my history as a Pittsburgher, we love sandwiches here. We love our permane sandwiches. And this just strikes me as like the Jersey version of a permane sandwich. And I feel like I would love it. I've never had it. So I'm going
Okay, so
completely
when you get
blind
it, when
here.
you get it,
Yeah.
when you get it, and I know you will, right? When you get it, so here's the thing, right? You need to get a pork roll, egg, and cheese, right? It's going to be American cheese. You're going to
Uh-huh.
want to put like provolone or cheddar on it, but it's American cheese,
Okay.
right? You do American cheese, pork roll, egg, and cheese with a fried egg on top of it. You can leave the yolk a little runny if you're into that, because I'm
Mhm.
into that. It's
Dippy.
fun.
Dippy egg, as we call it here.
right? Don't put ketchup on it like a 10-year-old,
I
right?
won't do
Hot
that.
sauce is acceptable, sriracha is acceptable. But then you get it on a Kaiser roll, and then you butter the roll.
Mm, I love
So
butter
this
in
way
my
you've got
buns.
fried pork, you've got cheese, you've got butter, right? You've got that classic round roll.
See,
Perfect.
yeah, you got me convinced, man. Esther, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, the man. I'm not gonna read that one out loud, but you're not wrong.
I gotta go.
I yeah, I'm gonna stick with S tier on that one. Let us know, guys. Pork roll. A, have you had it or not? B, where are you putting it at? Um, hopefully you're on team A after what Jahnu just told us. It sounds amazing. Our final one, then, Jahnu. So I know where you're going with this, and I'm intrigued to hear how you're gonna describe this based on where you got to put it. Boardwalk pizza. First of all, for anyone that has not had it, like I have not had boardwalk pizza specifically. What is the difference between boardwalk pizza and just regular pizza?
Okay, well, there's a couple of different variations, for boardwalk pizza. Sometimes they'll do like a traditional boardwalk pizza where you have the cheese on the bottom and the sauce on top.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll call that tomato pie too.
Okay.
But then there is the margarita pizza where it looks almost like a swirl, like a spiral, where they're going through it that way.
Yeah.
You can get the grandma pizza, which is like what we call Sicilian,
Yeah. Yep.
where
Yep.
it
Yep.
comes in the square and things like
Right.
that.
Thick cut.
But when you go down in the boardwalk, right, there is nothing better than a slice of pizza. And they've been sitting out in that salt water and in that sun. And I sit there and I watch the guys because we'll go up there, we'll sit at the counter and we watch these guys. And these guys are like in their 70s and their 80s.
Uh-huh.
And they got the gnarled hands and everything, the big glasses. And they're just making one pizza after the next, after the next, after the next because they learned it from their dad, who learned it from their dad, who learned it from their dad. Not only can you get in infinite varieties with an infinite amount of toppings, but there's something very unique about pizza because most of your dough is water, right? And
Mm-hmm.
water is different from water. Most of you guys know water, right? But in Jersey, we have water, and water makes pizza taste better. And
Huh.
if you don't believe me, you could talk to the people in California and you could talk to the people in Florida who jug our municipal water and have it flown down and shipped down to their restaurants
Mm.
so they can have it. Has to do with the granite in New York and the sandy soil in Jersey. The way those aquifers combine, it makes the best pizza dough in the world, hands down.
Interesting.
You've got people who've been making it for generations.
I don't doubt you,
Um,
by the way, on the water aspect of it, because like so when I've done some beer tours, they say the same thing. Like there's a reason why some of the premier breweries are in certain areas of the country. It's because of
yeah.
the geology of the ground that the water goes through. Like it's a big determining factor in taste and flavor and things like that. So I'm totally with you, man. Beer distributors, beer manufacturers, etc. Totally on board with you. The same thing. So question, John. So it sounds like the boardwalk pizza. So can you have any kind of varied topping on it? It's more so about like the
Sure.
crust than it is anything else.
I mean, don't throw anything on it you want.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's the great thing about like, pizza in Jersey. You could put your meats on there. You could put ham, you could put sausage, you could put pepperonis, you could put anything on there.
Right.
And they'll have it for you.
Yeah.
But I've always been the thing that I always tell people is pizza from Jersey is so good that you don't need toppings.
Mm.
Like I understand, like you'll say to people like, oh yeah, I get it, and I get all the meats on it, and I get fried onions on it, and I get all this stuff on it, like a hot dog, right?
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
seen the hot dog. The Chicago hot dog is piled so high,
Mm-hmm.
right, that you're never gonna get to the hot dog.
Okay.
You're trying to eat it like Guy Fieri. You're like, the hot dog was that good. Would they really have to put all that stuff on it?
That's a very valid point there, sir.
Come to Nathan's. Enjoy a real hot dog.
So question, you said you don't need a lot of toppings, but you can put kind of whatever you want to on it. Pineapple. Are you team pineapple on pizza?
I have qualifiers for pineapple. I have very qualifiers for pineapple. I'll do pineapple on pizza. I do like fruit on pizza. I've had peaches
Yes.
on pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be fresh,
Okay.
and it has to be grilled to the point of a char.
Okay,
right?
interesting.
So I want to see little burnt parts on my pineapple. But if you get that can with the mushy and you try to dump that on my pizza, I will punch you in the mouth.
I was waiting for you to say if you get that can with the water, like specifically
Ugh.
saying water instead of water. Okay, so I'm with you on that one. I am team pineapple, but there's qualifiers. There's got to be certain criteria that go along with it. I'm not just eating pizza with just plain pineapple on it. That's not going to happen. But interesting.
No,
Okay.
you have to have quality ingredients, hands down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's complementary with certain things too. Like I have to have either ham or bacon, something salty to go with the sweetness of the pineapple as well, in my opinion. Okay. So you're putting Boardwalk Pizza in what tier?
S tier.
Okay.
Slices as big as your head.
So, I'm glad I went with my gut and put pork roll in S tier. Here's why. We also did a tier ranking of pizzas. And I had a bit of a hot take in that as well. And while I love New York style pizza, which is not Boardwalk Pizza, correct? They are different.
Right. Yeah, a little bit different.
I love New York style pizza. I think it's really good. There's still nothing better than a Chicago pizza. Chicago pizza is far and away the best pizza I have ever had. Fight me. So because of that, Boardwalk Pizza absolutely deserves to be in B tier because it's not even the number one type of pizza out there. How can it be the number one S tier thing in Jersey if it's not even the number one pizza in the world, guys? Like, fight me.
No. Pizza has to have, there's certain things that pizza has to do. It has to fold, right? You have to be able to pick up a slice of pizza and hold it in one hand. You have to be able to fold it. The other thing is it's got to have snap, right? When you bite it, it's got to have snap.
Like the crunch?
Right, what you got is like a literal pizza pie, right? So I'm like, I got a knife and fork, and I'm cutting pieces off of it so I can scoop it in my mouth. But I get you. If our crust tasted like your crust, then I would pile everything on top of it too. Like the more you pile on top of that bread, the better the pizza's going to turn out. Make it sky high.
It's funny. Your argument is exactly what everyone said on our tier ranking of pizzas when I said Chicago pizza. They were like, it's a friggin' pie. The crust sucks. That's why you have to add so many toppings to it. Like everything that you just said was verbatim what they talked about. It's hilarious. They were all Team Jersey and New York style pizza people too, by the way. So
And I love Chicago food because they rep their food. They sort of, and I love me a kielbasa and there's a lot of like that food that I really do like. But I do think that the region and the climate that the food comes from seriously affects it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why, like the water in the dough, the salt air, that's sitting out in the pizzas all day.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind experience.
I believe it, sir. I believe it. I really thought you were going to go with pork roll, though. I'm a little surprised by that. Let us know in the comments, guys. Where are you putting Boardwalk Pizza? And then, of course, I think to cap things off, which one of these was the absolute worst take that you heard tonight? There are lots of options in our tiering that we had tonight. Lots of options for hot takes that are terrible.
I wasn't going to come on and give you oatmeal, Shaka. There was no chance of that.
Yeah, this is true. No Canadian takes from you, sir. Only S tier takes. Love it, guys. Well, if you enjoyed today's chat here with Jahnu and you enjoyed Jahnu himself, which I don't know how you couldn't, guys, you absolutely need to go give him some love. He's an awesome dude. His community is amazing. You need to check him out. Jahnu, where can people find you and how can they get more of you?
Yeah, well, the easiest place to go would be on my Twitch channel, which is Jahnu856. I'm there 5 days a week. We do cooking, we do gaming, we do music discussion, we do IRL streams. So you get a little bit of taste of everything. And we're always having fun over there. It's a great community. It's a great vibe. I do have a couple different YouTube channels that go along with it, but the main place to look for me is on Twitch.
Nice.
I'm there Monday through Friday, every single week, without fail, with the Shore friends, hanging out, having a good time. Look at them all.
Love it. Yeah,
Thank you so much, guys, for coming out tonight.
They are definitely, the Short House is definitely repping tonight in chat, guys, as well. Like I said, guys, great vibe over there. It's such a fun time over there, and it's a very varied amount of content. So no matter what you like to do, no matter what your interests are, you'll find something that's fun and something to do and a reason to stay if you get over to Jahnu's channel and watch his YouTube content too. Feel free to check that out.
Our new shenanigans that we've gotten into this month is I'm hosting a chat-driven reality competition show called the Shore House League, where chat competes for prizes every stream, and it contributes to a leaderboard that we add up at the end of the month. So that's been a lot of fun to play with the chat, and we've gotten a lot of really hilarious moments out of it.
That's awesome. That sounds like a ton of fun. As long as the man doesn't win, then I'm all on board with that.
Yo, that's what every single person says. It's anybody but the man. Like, there's literally a campaign.
I believe it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our season 1 villain.
I love it, guys. Well, if you enjoyed today's video, guys, make sure you check out more of the content. You can find this anywhere on Spotify or any of your typical streaming platforms for podcasts. You also can find us out over on YouTube and check us out on Shawk Tawk over on YouTube as well. And of course, like we said earlier, if you want to join the live chat, the live experience of being here while we are doing the actual recording and kind of mess with us a little bit throughout the stream, which is always appreciated and fun, check us out here over on Twitch at Shaka08, guys. Jahnu, any final parting words before we roll the outro, the AI music that we got here?
Love the AI music. No, thank you, Shaka, for the opportunity. It was great being here. I super enjoyed being a guest. We had a lot of fun things to talk about. Shout out to chat because they really came here and bring it. And anybody who's listening, guys, this is only the beginning. Shawk Tawk is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. You got a great setup here. You got a great format. And just a great personality for it.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate that, Jahnu. Appreciate everybody, guys. We will catch you next time, hopefully far into the future as well, guys. Next time here on Shawk Tawk.
Welcome on in and take a seat. Conversations that can't be beat. Music and movies to name a few. Sports and drinks and tiramisu. This is a podcast for everyone. Time to chat and have some fun. Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk. Time to chat and have some fun. Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk. This is a podcast for everyone. Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk.